Hello, to play at a pool or a fantasy league at MaximumFantasySports.com, you will want to come out to our homepage, MaximumFantasySports.com. Once you are out here, you will need to create your own unique MFS Member ID. That way you can use that to join your own private pool or one of our own public pools, or even create one of your own. That includes fantasy leagues. So, to create your own member ID, you will want to find the login areas. There's one on the left-hand side and one in the upper right-hand corner here. And since you do not have a member ID, you will want to click on Not Registered. That will present a screen here for registration. You will need to create your own unique member ID. This is not a league ID if you received an invite. This is a 6 to 12 character ID that has not already been used by another MFS member. So no spaces. You can run your words together if you have multiple words separated by an underscore, but you want to create a unique member ID. And for an example, I will create one called test user 12. And for the name, first name, last name, this will be used as display in your various leagues and pools in your email, so we address you by your name instead of your user ID. So please provide your appropriate, name or nickname, whatever you want to use. Just don't use anything embarrassing, of course. Then you'll want to put in your email address. Now, you can type in your email address, and this needs to be valid. We will send you a verification or validation email as soon as you create your ID, and you will need to validate your ID to gain access to the site. So make sure you enter a valid email address. Typos do happen, so if you do have a typo, you will not receive a validation email. So when you create your user ID, oops, I guess I need to finish typing in my password there. So enter the same password twice. Passwords are case sensitive. So if you use mixed case or uppercase, you will need to enter it the same way. User IDs are not case sensitive, but passwords are. So keep that in mind. Okay, so at this point, an email address has been sent, or an email has been sent to the email address on file here. Now, it just happens, and in my example, it did happen. Typos do occur. So if you do not receive a verification email address, you can email us, or if you try to sign in using the ID that you entered and password, you will receive a message saying that you have not been validated if you enter it correctly. Test user 12 and my password. Okay, so if you have not verified it, it will display a message in the middle letting you know that. At this point, you can review the email address you've entered, and if you see an invalid entry, you can correct it. And this will update directly on the profile that's been created as soon as you hit create user ID. So you actually have a user ID in place right now. You just haven't validated it, so we can't let you access it. So you don't want to keep trying, because if you try to create a new one, again, it will tell you it's already in use. So we receive a lot of email questions about, why is my email address already in use? I can't sign in. Well, it's created at this point. It's waiting for you to click on the verification email. So if you've typed in a wrong email address, correct it, and then click on resend. That will send it a second time. Okay, so you will want to draw in whatever email method you are using, and oops, where's my email at? There we go. Do a little send and receive here, and there's my email address that came in. Okay, so it's going to come in from Maximum Fantasy Sports. It's going to be entitled MFS Registration, and it's going to tell you that you have registered, but you need to click here to invoke the validation routine or copy and paste the validation string in. Either way, They come in as hyperlinks, so if you have HTML email, you can just click on them. If not, copy and paste into a browser. But at that point, click on it, and you are now signed in, you are validated, and you can go ahead and create leagues or join leagues if you've been invited, and have yourself a wonderful time. Join a public league, make some money, and welcome to MFS.